Get on in here. It is January the 6th. Look who's back. Annette's here. Glad you're here. Here's what we're working on this morning. Okay, this is pretty big. Globe and Mail is reporting Prime Minister Justin Trudeau is expected to announce his resignation as Liberal Party leader tomorrow. Simone is on this story for us.
Niagara police have arrested one person in connection with the murder of a man found dead in Port Colborne. They're looking for another.
And the Golden Globes were handed out last night. Andrew Garfield was there? Well.
Hi. I haven't seen 6 o'clock in the morning in a long time.
Because you get into this like vacation mode where you get like sleeps in longer and longer and longer.
And longer and longer and longer and staying up later and later.
Yeah.
And yeah, last night I was like, oh, I can't sleep. I'm so excited to get back.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you.
How was your break?
It was very nice.
Yeah?
Very
Just
nice
hung
and
around?
relaxing.
Didn't go anywhere?
It was awesome.
Great to have you back. Hey, Brian Wood.
Hey, good morning.
How are we doing?
Cold.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. And getting colder.
Is it? Okay, because today's everything's back today. You know what I mean? Everybody, last week
School is back.
It was
That's
weird
right.
last week because some people were back and some people weren't. We're all back at it. Let's get back to a new year, 2025. Bring it on.
That's right. And roads are going to be back to normal because those big orange things are going to be back on the roads today, going to school for the kids, and normal volume back at it. Even Annette's back at it. So there we are. Temperature right now -5, wind chill -9. Oh, but wait, the winds are going to be strong again today. We just can't seem to kick those strong and gusty winds. We're going to have wind chill values today of -15. Tonight, the wind chill is going to be -20. It's going to be a brutally cold night tonight. Just some clouds, just some flurries this morning, and then it looks like some flurries again for the day tomorrow, and continuing cold and windy. So we'll talk about that coming up in a few minutes. Now let's have a look at what's going on the roads. 403 Waterdown Road. That's okay right now. Nothing is going on there. It's just getting a little busier coming out of Hamilton towards us. That's our camera. Let's go to just a few MTO traffic cameras. Nothing at Centennial Parkway so far. Still nice across the top of the Skyway, although brake lights are coming on, going down toward North Shore Boulevard. Appleby line wide open, so nothing happening, no volume, no collisions right now. Things are looking pretty good. We will look at weather and traffic as usual coming up. Right now, the news.
Okay, something big is brewing because the Globe and Mail is reporting Prime Minister Justin Trudeau is expected to step down as Liberal Party leader as early as today. Simone, get on in here with the details on this. What can you tell us?
Well, Tim, today could mark a historic week with those growing calls already coming from MPs for Trudeau to resign. Now, the report from the Globe and Mail says that this is expected to happen prior to a caucus meeting on Wednesday. That's according to 3 unnamed sources. Now, yesterday, CHCH News spoke with political analyst Stefan Dolgert for more on what this could mean.
There's a lot that is unclear about how the succession would actually go, or how, if Trudeau were to step down, how would that leadership race then actually occur? The bylaws in the constitution of the Liberal Party indicate that there needs to be this 90-day period of people getting signatures, and then at least 90 days. They have to get those signatures in 90 days before whatever leadership vote would occur. So there's a long period of time there potentially. But there is a provision for an interim leader to be appointed, although the process there is very hazy in terms of how the bylaws spell this out.
Now, there is still no specific timeline as to when a resignation could happen, and CHCH has also not yet independently confirmed this report. But this topic has been front and center, especially after the surprise resignation of Finance Minister Chrystia Freeland. Multiple MPs within the Liberal Party have already called for Trudeau to step down, the latest one being London North Centre MP Peter Fragiskatos. 3 main opposition parties have all said they plan to bring down the government at the first opportunity. The Conservatives already plan to introduce a non-confidence motion next week. This all comes 2 weeks before President-elect Donald Trump's inauguration day. That also marks the day the 25% tariff on Canadian goods is expected to come into play as well. Now, if Trudeau does resign, the Liberals would need to name an interim leader and then hold a leadership race for that spot. Multiple names have already been circulating, but Mark Carney is just one of those names that is reportedly a possible contender. Annette, back over to you.
Okay, thanks very much. Well, a driver's been arrested after a handgun was pointed at other drivers on the Niagara-bound QEW yesterday afternoon. The OPP say the driver was stopped near Glendale and an imitation handgun was seized. That driver is now facing several charges and police are asking witnesses to come forward.
Niagara police, they were looking for a man after a dog was shot in Niagara Falls. 26-year-old Anthony Angoy of Thorold is wanted after the shooting early Saturday morning. Police say that he was trying to show a handgun in an apartment building when it went off, hitting a 1-year-old husky. Police say the dog was stabilized, then transferred to a vet clinic outside of Niagara region for continued treatment.
Days after identifying 2 more men wanted in a murder last summer in Port Colborne, Niagara police say only one now is still at large. They are looking for 47-year-old Richard Stevens of Niagara Falls. He's wanted for first-degree murder in the death of Daniel Sanvito, a father of 2 and hip-hop artist who performed under the name Ill Table Manners. Sanvito's body was found in a ditch in Port Colborne last August 24th. Another 47-year-old from the Falls, Jacob Cudney, was arrested this past weekend in Sanvito's murder. 36-year-old Jade Hayward of St. Catharines was arrested on first-degree murder charges last Thursday. Well, Halton police are looking for several suspects after a jewelry store robbery in Burlington over the weekend. Saturday afternoon around 4:30, several people wearing face coverings stormed into a jewelry store in Mapleview Mall. They broke display cases and took off with an undisclosed amount of jewelry. No arrests have been made yet. Well, this is an historic voting day in 1 East Hamilton ward. It is the first by-election in the city of Hamilton where people have had the choice to vote in person or online. A by-election was called in Hamilton's Ward 4 after longtime public school board trustee Ray Mulholland stepped down. Registration for online voting is now closed, but there are 3 spots where you can vote in person today. They're marked on that map that you see on your screen. It's Rosedale Arena, Sir Winston Churchill Rec Center, or the Boys and Girls Club. The City of Hamilton is using this by-election to test online voting for next year's municipal elections.
Plenty of sports stuff to get to this morning from the hard court and gridiron. Let's start in the ice, though. We're overtime. That was the theme. And starts with the Maple Leafs back on home ice, looking for a 4th straight win against the Flyers.
Loose is Matthews. Riley catch it up. Here's Morgan Riley. Scores! Game winner! Morgan Riley!
For the first time in 26 games, Morgan Riley would light the lamp as the Leafs snuck past the Flyers 3-2 to pick up their 4th straight win, which marked the halfway mark of the NHL season. Austin Matthews picked up an assist, his 2nd of the night, which followed a 3-point-9 on Saturday in his return against the Bruins. Leafs are atop the Atlantic at the halfway mark and face Philadelphia again tomorrow.
Hamra pulls through 2, alone forehand, scores!
More overtime, you say? Sure thing. In Brantford, Tomas Hamra would score the OT winner for the Bulldogs as they snapped a 3-game slide, beating the Ottawa 67s 4-3 for their first win in 2025. Shout out to Dogs' Patrick Thomas, who scored the first for his 200th OHL point. Bulldogs host Flint on Wednesday. Overtime keep coming at you in St. Catharines, where the Ice Dogs were hoping to turn around a slow start after Christmas, but found themselves on a losing end in OT to the Windsor Spitfires. 4-3 the final there. Ice Dogs have dropped 4 of 5. Let's head to Ottawa now for the gold medal showdown at the World Juniors.
Boyan, lead pass for Stiga. Here comes Teddy Stiga. Oh, Stiga shoots, scores! Teddy Stiga, goal! And the United States has won back-to-back World Junior gold medals for the first time in its history.
Yeah, not only overtime, but a golden goal as the United States picked up back-to-back gold medals at the World Juniors. They came back from 3-1 down to beat Finland in the gold medal showdown. They are the team to beat in these junior ranks as Canada has been out of the medals in back-to-back years. In the States, They host the tourney next year in Minnesota. Okay, plenty of football to tackle in the final weekend of the NFL regular season, with the Bills game having no meaning. They already locked up the second seed in the AFC. Expected MVP Josh Allen extended his consecutive start streak to 115 games, but only played one snap before Mitch Trubisky took over. The Bills would lose to the lowly New England Patriots 23-16, but again, meant nothing. Another top-tier QB, Patrick Mahomes, also on the sidelines for the Chiefs game against Denver. Denver had to win, and they were in the playoffs. And they didn't just win, they skunked the Chiefs. 38-zip thanks to this spectacular play. Little highlight tip drill touchdown for the Broncos. So that means Denver is going to be traveling to Orchard Park and face the Bills Sunday in the wild card matchup. Let's finish on the hard court, where Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and his Thunder are the hottest team in the NBA right now, facing the defending champs in the Boston Celtics in OKC. And despite falling behind by double digits, SGA would be doing it at both ends of the court in the second half, dropping trays and blocking shots. And dishing dimes, we should say, too. Look at this one. They have now won 15 straight games as they beat the Celtics 105-92 thanks to Shai's 33 points. OKC tries for 16 straight Wednesday against the top team in the NBA, the Cleveland Cavaliers.
6:11, okay, it's Monday, and things are getting back to normal after our Christmas and New Year's break. School's back, so be lots of school buses on the roads and everybody back kind of to normal. Let's look at traffic. First of all, 403 Waterdown Road really hasn't changed. That's doing fine. We have no collisions at the moment. No volume, really. Let's go to some MTO traffic cameras. QEW Glendale doing fine so far. So is Centennial Parkway. We'll flip ahead to Fairview Street. As you can see, everything moving nicely there. Here's a look at Sheridan as we go through Mississauga, a little further along at Cooksville Creek. Yep, no problems on the roads this morning. But we do have some light snow flurry activity at the moment. So roads could be a little greasy, a little slippery. I saw the crews out this morning laying down whatever it is they lay down to make the roads a little bit better. So let's look at the temperature right now. Temperature has just fallen by another degree. -6 at the moment. The winds north at 22. They're picking up a bit. That makes it feel like -13. And we do have some light snow flurry activity. Yes, those things are back on the road today as school is back. Mainly cloudy. We'll have some flurries today. The high today, -5, but with the winds that are going to get really strong, it'll feel like -15. So it's going to be a cold day today. That low pressure system is going by us, thankfully just glancing to the south of us, not really going to be a problem. The winds are shifting a little bit. Are going to be north, and then they're going to become northwest again, and that'll cycle in the lake effect machine coming off of Lake Huron to Georgian Bay as we get farther toward the middle of the week. But today they're north, so the Niagara Peninsula could get 2 centimeters today of lake effect snow. The rest of us just a little flurry activity, mainly cloudy skies, -6 degrees to -5. Tonight cold, -8 for Niagara, -12 at this end of the lake into Hamilton, wind chill of -20. -9, -10 for the rest of the horseshoe. And then tomorrow, temperature -3 to -4 degrees. Will be fairly cloudy for the day tomorrow. Not a lot of sunshine tomorrow. Well, maybe into Peel and Toronto a little bit, but otherwise we will have some flurry activity, and that's really all it's going to amount to, is generally some flurry activity. So out the door, 6th morning of January, it's cloudy. We do have some light flurry activity. Temperature right now, -6 degrees. We'll look at the long-range forecast coming up. Annette, Tim.
Okay, thank you, Brad.
Feeling okay?
Yeah.
All right, off and running on
Let's
your...
continue.
Let's continue. Yeah, so we will, because Louis Butko is in for Emily to do a little chit-chat this morning. We'll check in with him after the break. Also, how is the Toronto Stock Exchange expected to perform in 2025? We'll have that and other business news in 2. Hey, there's Louis.
Hello, Louis.
Good morning. Hey, Matt. How's it going?
Good. I haven't seen you in days.
Weeks almost, we can call it. How's it going? Good to see you guys.
You're in all week for him.
I am in all week for Emily, yes.
Hey, you got some stuff to talk about today.
Yes, I do. The Golden Globes were handed out last night. We'll have the highlights throughout the morning. And the first weekend at the box office of 2025, a big success for a familiar name in Disney. So we'll have all that come up in Chit Chat.
Okay, we'll see you at that big red couch in a little bit as we get into business news on this January the 6th. Canadian dollar, it's up 33 basis points, trading at 69.56 cents U.S. Gold down almost $10, 26.44.90 an ounce. Crude oil off 26 cents, 73.70 a barrel. Off to Europe we go. Hey, Europe. Markets are down in London, but up in Frankfurt and Paris.
In Asia, the markets were down in Tokyo, Hong Kong, and Shanghai. We'll have more on the Japanese market and what's fueling it in just a moment. Checking North American markets, the TSX gained 175 points on Friday. The Dow was up more than 330, and the Nasdaq also closed 340 points higher.
Yeah, well, the markets get going at excuse me, at 9:30 this morning. But let's continue with the Canadian markets, because the equity market in this country is expected to continue its strong performance this year, although slower growth and increased volatility they are predicted. According to a senior investment strategist, rising corporate profits, lower interest rates, and strong commodity prices, especially in energy and materials, those are key drivers to the growth. However, several risks could slow growth, including tariff threats on the southern border that could negatively impact business investments and overvalued tech stocks. Analysts anticipate 10 to 12% earnings growth for the TSX, though it may underperform the S&P 500. A diversified portfolio and really focusing on undervalued stocks, that will be essential for investors navigating potential challenges in the year ahead.
So as we mentioned a few moments ago, Tokyo's stock market opened slightly lower today. This comes after U.S. President Joe Biden blocked Nippon Steel's $15 billion U.S. deal for Pittsburgh-based U.S. Steel. Shares in Nippon Steel of Japan fell a bit in their first trading session since Biden rejected the deal. After a year-long review, he's citing national security concerns in the states. Both Nippon Steel and U.S. Steel have criticized that move. They argue Biden has provided no credible evidence of a national security threat, and both steel companies may pursue legal action.
Let's stay with the U.S. president, because he is also moving to ban offshore oil and gas drilling in most U.S. coastal waters. This is a last-minute effort to block possible action by the incoming Trump administration to expand offshore drilling. Biden, whose term expires in 2 weeks, says he is using authority under federal law to protect offshore areas along the east and west coast, the eastern Gulf of Mexico, and then portions of Alaska's northern Bering Sea from future oil and natural gas leasing. He said his decision is backed by coastal communities who know that offshore drilling could cause irreversible environmental damage. Spokeswoman for President-elect Donald Trump says the decision will be reversed after Trump takes office January the 20th.
Will this be the month that TikTok is banned in the United States? That's the question that's keeping creators and small business owners in limbo. They're awaiting a decision from the U.S. Supreme Court. The court will hear arguments on Friday on a U.S. law requiring TikTok to break ties with its China-based parent company ByteDance or face a ban in the states. President-elect Donald Trump first tried to ban the platform through executive order during his first term.
One more for you, because Microsoft is expected to spend big money on artificial intelligence this year. For the fiscal year 2025, the company said it's on track to invest around $80 billion U.S. to build out data centers. They will be used to train AI models and deploy AI and cloud-based applications worldwide. Microsoft says more than half of the $80 billion investment will be made in the U.S. The company said the U.S. leads the global AI race right now, and it called on the incoming Trump administration, along with Congress, to expand efforts to support the advancements of AI.
Okay, taking a quick break right now. Brian is going to be back with traffic and your 7-day forecast as we return to normal.
There it is on the button, 6:24. Let's get going. Okay, Monday, January the 6th. Looks like some greasy roads here in the Niagara area. Yeah, you see, with the wind shifting into Niagara, they could get some lake effect snow flurry activity for the day today. QEW Martindale looks good. Top of the Burlington Skyway Bridge down toward North Shore Boulevard, starting to get slow. Nothing at Appleby. Here's Sheraton, still looking fine. We'll dip into the 403 at here, Ontario. Looks pretty good at the moment, so nothing there. Temperature at the moment. Looks like, oh dear, the skates have to be hung up after the Christmas New Year's break. I think if I remember correctly, when I was a kid, at Christmas New Year's break, I would have lived in my skates. Not quite like those, but hockey skates, yes. -5 is our temperature right now. Wind chill about -9 to -10, -6 Grimsby, Toronto, -7 into Mississauga. How about seasonal temperatures? -9 for the overnight low and -2 for the daytime high. We're going to struggle with that daytime high today. Those are our sun times and records for the day and for school today. Yep, back at it. -6 for the first bell, little flurry activity, and temperature will climb and then dip to -6 for after school with a bit of sunshine. So today, -5, but a wind chill of -15. Those winds are going to be strong once again. Niagara Peninsula could get a couple of centimeters of snow. -12 tonight with a wind chill of -20. Bitterly cold. Tomorrow -4 with a wind chill of -12, so it stays cold tomorrow. Even colder on Wednesday. Sunshine comes back Wednesday and Thursday. -7 and -6, and then cloudy as we get into Friday and into the weekend as well. That's your forecast. Annette, Tim.
Yeah, okay, so Christmas and the Christmas holidays, they may be over. It's back to it today, but Christmas trees are still bringing some joy.
Goats at an arboretum in Philadelphia are feasting on the evergreens. The Christmas Tree Cycle Festival is in its 7th year. It's an environmentally friendly way to dispose of Christmas trees and give these goats a tasty treat. Now, what the goats don't eat is turned into wood chips for trails in Philadelphia's parks and community gardens. That's a great idea. In our area, the Royal Botanical Gardens is accepting trees until January 12th to help protect waterways. But you have to register ahead of time.
Yeah, that's the key, because they don't want a bunch of trees dropped off in the front door.
No, they even tell you where, like when you register, they give you an email address and tell you where to drop off the trees.
I actually haven't got an update. Normally they sell out. Normally have like more than enough.
They only need 2,000. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Well, ours is ready to go to be put on the curb this week for pickup. It's down.
Ours is boxed up in the basement.
It is. Okay, there you go. All right. Off and running. Great to have Annette back. Great to have you back if you were off, didn't check in while you were on vacation. Okay, lots more to come on your Monday morning right after this.